These are our top 10 unforgettable NBA legends who left an indelible mark on the league's history but never got to taste that sweet championship glory. Coming in at number 10, we got Elgin Baylor, who played for the Lakers when they were still named Minneapolis Lakers. This dude was a true trailblazer of the game, revolutionizing the forward position with his finesse and grace. The 11-time NBA All-Star and Rookie of the Year from 1959 made it to 8 NBA Finals in pursuit of that golden ring. Also, he set a record for the most points scored in a final game. In 1962, in the 5th game against the Celtics, he scored an unbelievable 61 points, but sadly, the championship gods must have been sipping tea and munching on crumpets because they didn't appreciate his genius. Come on, basketball gods, you gotta get your act together. One of the most talked about Knicks of all time, coming in at number 9, Bernard King. This guy was an unstoppable scoring machine during the NBA revitalization in the 80s. He battled through horrific knee injuries like a boss and still managed to drop buckets on various teams, including his beloved New York Knicks. He was a scoring champ and even had back-to-back 50-point games, but when it came to the championship, he couldn't get closer than the second playoff round in 1984, when the Knicks lost against the Celtics in 7 games. Number 8 will give you the chills, George Gervin, aka the Iceman. This guy had more scoring titles than a fortune cookie has fortunes. Only Wilt Chamberlain and Michael Jordan surpassed his 4 scoring crowns, and he was the first guard ever to win 3 of those in a row. Gervin had a streak of scoring in double figures in 407 consecutive games. That's more consistent than my Wi-Fi signal. In 11 seasons with the San Antonio Spurs, Gervin never quite melted the championship ice. The closest they got was in 1979 when he and the Spurs lost in the conference finals to Washington in 7 games. Next up is Pistol Pete Maravich. This dude's ball handling skills and passing skills could make Houdini jealous. During his college career at Louisiana State University, he averaged a mind-boggling 44 points per game. Yes, you heard me right. 44 points per game. In 10 NBA seasons, he earned 5 All-Star selections and 1 scoring title, even though he played 26 playoff matches and reached the conference finals in 1980 with the Celtics. His Magic couldn't conjure up a championship. Oh, alas, good old Reggie Miller, one of the original sharpshooter extraordinaires, comes in at number 6. Spending his 18 seasons-long career with the Indiana Pacers, this guy was the definition of clutch. He could hit shots anywhere, even from the parking lot. And his rivalry with the Knicks. One word: epic. In fact, his 8 points in 9 seconds to crush the dreams of the Knicks in Madison Square Garden in the 1995 playoffs is one of the best sequences in league history. Talk about a New York minute. Spike Lee is still going to therapy for that one. Despite his heroics, Miller's career never reached the promised land of championship glory. At number 5, we got Allen Iverson, the little guy with a big heart. Standing at 6 feet tall, 165 pounds soaking wet, he took the league by storm. His quickness and signature crossovers left defenders tripping over their own shoelaces. He led the Sixers with a 23.5 points per game, winning the Rookie of the Year in 1997. In 2001, he pulled his Sixers to the finals, where they faced the unstoppable Lakers. Iverson fought like a lion, but in the end, his dreams of a ring got Shaq-rolled. Still, he left an indelible mark on the game, and his style will forever be remembered as he finished his career with 4 scoring titles and 1 MVP. Now let's talk about the maestro of assists, Steve Nash. The Canadian sensation had passing skills that can make your jaw drop faster than a bad pickup line. He was the Mozart of point guards, composing beautiful plays and orchestrating his team to perfection. The 6'3" guard even won back-to-back MVPs in 2005 and 2006, but unfortunately he never quite composed that championship symphony. If only Mark Cuban had recognized his greatness earlier and showered him with a contract he deserved, he might be singing a different tune. The legendary Sir Charles Barkley, making it into our top 3. This man was an absolute force on the court, despite being undersized for his position, standing at a towering 6'5". Okay, towering may be an exaggeration. Barkley furiously battled giants in the paint and left them scratching their heads. He started his career with the Sixers, bringing the thunder and going hard against the best. Then he took his talents to the Phoenix Suns, where he won the MVP award over Michael Jordan and made it to the finals. But the mighty Chicago Bulls and their heiress Michael Jordan stood in the way like a giant brick wall. Barkley never got that championship ring, but he sure earned the respect of everybody else, including the chiropractors who had to treat the opponent's sore backs. Ouch. Coming in at number 2, we have the towering presence of Patrick Ewing. Over 16 seasons, he was the embodiment of New York Knicks basketball. Standing tall in the paint, Ewing almost took the Knicks to the throne, but Jordan and his Bulls always seemed to have an eviction notice for them. When Jordan decided to retire and play some baseball, Ewing and the Knicks finally made it to the NBA Finals in 1994. With a 3-2 lead, it looked like they were ready to conquer. But somehow the Houston Rockets had other plans, leaving Ewing and the Knicks with an oh-so-painful feeling of what could have been. And guess what? In 1999, when the Knicks returned to the finals, Ewing was sidelined with an injury, leaving nothing for the big king of New York to do but have a front row seat and cheer on his teammates. Talk about bad timing. The ultimate NBA legend without a ring is the tandem of Karl Malone and John Stockton. These Utah Jazz legends spent 17 years together and were the Batman and Robin of pick-and-roll basketball. Stockton dished out assists like Oprah gives away cars, and Malone finished it with authority. Stockton to Malone is one of the most repeated basketball phrases fans have ever heard. They took the Utah Jazz to back-to-back NBA Finals in 1997 and 1998, but unfortunately, they ran into the buzzsaw known as Michael Jordan and the Bulls. It's like they ran into a never-ending sequel of Malone and Stockton versus the Bulls, the Championship Chronicles. Seriously, it's tough enough to separate these two because they were so inseparable on the court. They rewrote the playbook for pick and roll, but the championship chapter remained elusive for them. Malone even tried his luck with the Lakers late in his career, but the Hollywood ending wasn't in the script.